Double shot, no chaser.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Two Real Chicks weekly podcast. We live. Ow.
We ain't that live. Anyways, welcome back, y'all, to the weekly wrap up. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? The part of the podcast where we go through and we wrap up all of the celebrity stories that have been trending all week.
Oh, child.
And we got a few of them because
Hell, we
these
got more
celebrities
than a
been
few.
wilding.
We got more than a few.
These celebrities been wilding these
Mm-hmm.
past few days. The aunties are fighting. Okay. We've got rap girlies beefing, which I don't really know too much about, but
Which is
more than
weird. It's a
likely
weird
it's stupid.
beef. It is. It is.
And it probably ain't even much of a beef.
It's not.
It's probably something that a fan said or started, and it's just like it got blown out of proportion.
The fans are always keeping drama up. Like, the fans be the ones starting to instigate like the barbs. They be quick to get into somebody's business, and then Nicki Minaj come out of nowhere. Oh, y'all sneak this in on me, girl. Tell your barbs to go sit down. Tell the troops to go sit down. Let them go sit down.
I don't care. I don't care. They're just doing too much. And then we've got to talk about Swarm.
I think that's our first topic, actually.
We got to talk about Swarm because that just recently premiered, and then we got to talk about 6ix9ine being jumped yesterday,
like 2 days ago at this point.
2 days ago at LA Fitness. I saw the video. I saw the reel that you sent me in my DM, my Instagram DM, and it definitely. I ain't gonna say too much. I'm gonna wait.
We got a couple things. Let's not give them all at once. If y'all just sit back, relax, stay tuned. But before we get into that, I do have an icebreaker. So, the Shit to Gigs podcast, it's those two guys. I don't know if they're like from France or something. They got a real thick accent, two black guys. And okay, so the question they had for the question of the day was, what is a conversation that you overheard that you wasn't supposed to hear? And I feel like since we are who we are, people feel a little bit more comfortable with telling us their business, or we're overhearing something we know we goddamn well should not be hearing. So you tell me,
do sex noises count?
Girl, they always count.
Because I know plenty of them.
Like how, like, you obviously don't get too many details, but
okay, so one night I had woke up, I don't know what it was, but and I was in school, but you know how your body just has this weird sleep schedule sometimes where you'll wake up in the middle of the night and it's like, okay, it's 1 a.m. Why are you up? You know what I'm saying? So it's like the wee hours of the morning. My mama and her then boyfriend had just gotten back home or whatever. They will swear up and down that what I heard was the TV. But no. First of all, I stayed in Indiana for a good little minute. Aisha knows this. The apartment complex that we stayed in, everything was thin. Me, the walls, the floors, the windows, everything was thin. And what made it like worse, you could hear through the vents. So even and then they had a let out couch downstairs. So if they let the couch out, let the bed out or whatever, you'd hear it, and the bed squeaks. So I'm hearing squeaking and I'm hearing her moaning. I couldn't even say nothing. I'm just like, bro. And then the song, I feel good. Man. I bet you do.
It didn't help. Oh my God.
I bet you do feel good with your nasty ass. Then I heard my brother having sex a couple times. His door was open.
Oh wow.
I think my door might have been open.
But
the girl was sounding like he was getting her, killing her. He probably was. Shit. Them young boys don't be doing shit. They don't know shit about, not to get too graphic, but they don't really know how to cater to a woman's body at 17, 18 years old. And most women don't know how it's supposed to feel.
Yep. Because they so used to it not feeling good at all. They just like, oh, this is what it is. This is how I'm
Yes,
supposed
it's
to
like
feel. But it's not.
no, but it sounded like he was just in there humping
See, my
hard.
little brother and I, when we got our first place together, our rooms are side by side. It was an apartment, so I purposely never put my bed on the same wall that connected us because I knew when he would knew I was asleep that I knew what was going on in there. So I didn't even partake in those activities with him. I would either go and sit in my closet, close the door, watch TV, watch my iPad, that sort of thing. Like I would just completely just not want to hear it. But I think I can do you one better, Lyah. Let me tell you. First night in
Okay, I'll do
Arizona.
me, y'all.
The first night in Arizona, we were in the RV. I'm trying to sleep. And I'm feeling the RV moving. It's rocking. And I'm like, are we? I look out the window. We ain't moving nowhere. What the fuck? Like, what's going on?
Not your mama fucking in the RV.
In the RV. There was no noises. Like, I didn't hear what was happening. I just felt the RV moving. Oh my God.
Bitch thought it was windy outside, but it ain't no wind
Ain't no
to be
wind.
watching us like
I'm in
that.
a damn Arizona desert. Ain't no wind.
I'm crying.
But y'all, today's lineup is really, really good. So if you don't know where to find us, we're Two Real Chicks on all platforms: Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Hopefully you go and subscribe to here, follow us over there, and then come back and watch the rest of this video. Okay, do all that. So let's get into Swarm. I have completed first episode. That's it. That's all that I've completed.
She sucks. First of all, this show, let me just give y'all some. There's a video that you have because I didn't watch any videos, so I don't know.
I can play the video first, and then you can give your tidbit about it.
Yeah, let's just
Okay,
do that.
here we go, y'all.
Okay, friend, let's dive deeper into Swarm. A lot of people have been asking, is this series real? Technically, it isn't, but in a way it is, and I'm going to dive deeper into that in this video. So where I want to start is the commentary surrounding Chloe Bailey's character, Marissa Jackson. A lot of people are saying, oh yeah, Dre unalived her, but if you listen to the showrunner Janine Neighbors, this was an actual rumor that was going around in Houston at the time that someone unalived themselves during the Lemonade album because they just couldn't take the fact that someone was cheating on them. And a lot of creators are attributing Dre's behavior to Stanham, and that is there, but you also have to combine that element of grief and loss through her sister. And going back into the realism of this show, people were confused why this show was saying this is not a work of fiction. Any similarity to actual persons living or dead or actual events is intentional. And the reason that that works is because when you hit the 6th episode, everything that we watched before is a reenactment. And that's why they have these disclaimers, because everything that we're witnessing is something that they are doing as a reenactment, and they give us the actual photos of Dre in this episode. These are the photos here, and Donald Glover also mentions how he wants to make a series with Amazon Studios, and that's the series that we're actually watching now. Like, what? They did that. And the thing is, the series still hits on other mysteries. We finally know who built Beyonce. They play into that. In addition to a fan jumping on stage and running towards Beyonce. In addition to everything that I've said, I feel as though a lot of these actors have done an amazing job. Billie Eilish was playing remnants of a cult leader, the NXIVM cult, and at this point they are facing years for their crimes, but Billie Eilish, you cleared that, and I really want to see her in other roles. And the situation with them strippers was not made up either, but make sure y'all like, share, follow, and comment. I really want to delve deeper into this series because there's a lot to be said.
I need to rewatch it over. No, for real, because no, like it's one of them things where, like he said, it is so deep, it's so packed full of shit that like I feel like if you're watching it once, you may miss some stuff, and I feel like I did. Now, granted, I watched the episodes. I'm not gonna lie, I watched them. I started to fall asleep around like episode 4 and 5, but like I think 6 and 7 I was awake for fully, but I would go back and rewatch it because it is a good show. So y'all heard in the video, it's a take on not just the Beehive, but just stan culture in
Stand-up,
general,
yes.
and just how sometimes like super fans or stans will go to the depths, you know what I'm saying, writing for a celebrity and defending a celebrity that doesn't even know that they exist.
Yeah, have no clue that you are
Has
on
no
this earth.
clue. And like he said, like when they put that disclaimer out, it was to let people know, like, hey, this is not fictional. This is
Some real shit.
loosely based on actual factual information or and events. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And when you seen the trailer and you seen people, like what people were saying about it, I mean, that kind of should have been common sense, but
Yeah.
there are probably people who didn't really watch it. But I really want to see. I wonder if they're going to make this like an anthology series, or if they're going to continue with like the characters that they have.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to know. I would like for this series to dive deeper into like stan culture and like cuz like yeah, it was definitely a reference to the Beehive,
For
even
sure.
though Dominique Fishback, first of all, she acted her ass off, and I need for you to
Homegirl
go
needs every damn award.
I need for you to watch
Everyone.
the entire series.
I'm going
But like
to. I'm going to.
But like she did I had never heard of her. Honestly,
Never.
I had never heard of her until this role. No tea, no shade. Like, not even trying to be funny. Never
Yeah.
heard of this woman into this role. Um, but I wonder if they're gonna do like an American Horror Story thing where
Oh, each season is
it's
something different.
yeah, each one of them is something different, and you don't have to watch the first one to get into the third one. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
they always recycle the characters. I wonder if they're gonna do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like it would be good to reference other standums.
Yeah. Because I mean, that Selena situation, that's another one that it's like, okay, you were a fan, but you took it a little too far. Like, you didn't have to do that. So,
Yeah.
so
And
I
then
would give
also
well.
I feel like in stan culture, like okay, for instance, touching on the racism that some of these standums have and the celebrities fail to acknowledge, I think would be a good thing to like touch on, especially if you're gonna do like a white standum like the Swifties or
Oh, I heard that they're racist. I just recently
or
found out that they're racist.
or like the Harry Styles fans or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like do because there have been so many situations where standums have, like Hailey Bieber, for instance. There have been so many situations where, like, especially in that Selena thing, some of her fans were wishing this woman death.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And what ends up happening is celebrities end up condoning that behavior. Even in like the Barb's fandom and stuff like that.
They take shit too serious.
Yes, they really, really do. And it's like, when you don't address it and you try to act like it doesn't exist or say, well, I don't, my real fans don't do that. No, these people are your real
Them
fans.
your fans, girl.
These are
Yeah,
your
them
real
people.
fans. And what ends up happening is they pick and choose when they want to like address something, or you know what I'm saying? Like I wonder if they're gonna do something like that and like give different takes on stan culture and what that looks like, what that can look like from different standums. But this is a really good show. I have not seen a show on TV, on anybody's network, on anybody's streaming service
Girl, you know they're gonna try to copy. They
that
gonna
has a take like that.
Mm-hmm.
Another idea that I had was, what if Donald Glover and what is his name? Jordan Peele did something together.
That would be nice.
That would eat.
See, but I'm not a thriller type person, and I didn't know that this show was like a thriller type
Yeah, it's
situation.
a thriller like mystery.
Yeah, I'm not. Those are not my type of shows, y'all. So for me to even watch episode 1 and complete episode 1, Girl, that was an accomplishment.
This guy don't even watch TV. So.
Yeah, like I don't even watch TV. So if I watch something and I genuinely enjoy it, and this is my first time walking into it, that's crazy. That's crazy. But it kept me entertained. I liked Atlanta, which was amazing. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. So I don't know, man. I would definitely let y'all know once I finish complete it. I'll probably do like a short or something about it, so y'all know I've completed it. But it's good. It's actually good.
Can we talk about, though, for a second before we move on, this whole thing with like Chloe Bailey and the sex scene and how people made a really big deal about?
Yes, please.
Because first of all, I learned something new every day. I didn't know anything about a intimacy coordinator.
Yeah, those are definitely a thing. Like even in porn.
I didn't. Yeah, but I didn't know. I didn't know anything about that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that. I knew that when they do scenes like that, everybody isn't in the room. It's only a few people. I knew about that, but I didn't know anything about a intimacy coordinator. Everybody was like, wow, for Chloe Bailey, man, she's really throwing it back. And that arch looks official. And and it's like, can y'all calm down?
And then there was a ball between them. It wasn't even like their naked bodies was touching in that area. There was a ball between them.
Yeah, that's what she said. And you know what? What I can respect, first of all, everybody, I can't talk. Everybody in this damn show did what they needed to do. Okay. Damson Idris, he's a British-born actor, right? If you watch Snowfall, then you know who he is. You're familiar with his acting. You would think this man is an American. If you had never heard him talk before, you would think this man is American.
Be on point.
He's that fucking good. Like, he's amazing with it. But Chloe Bailey made a whole video talking about, or not made a whole video, but she did an interview talking about Swarm and talking about the sex scene. And she was saying that initially, she was very uncomfortable because she's like, I don't have many sexual partners, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, I'm very liberal with my body, but it's still, it's still one of them things that you kind of have to get over, being naked and doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she was like, he made her feel comfortable. And they laughed and they joked. He did whatever he could to help her take the edge off.
Yeah.
And it's like, kudos to him for being a man and like knowing that, hey, this ain't really an easy situation for her to be in, so I'm gonna do what I can.
Because the guy is never gonna get talked to crazy. Ain't nobody gonna be like, oh God, look at that, he was fucking the shit out of her on that movie.
Yeah,
no, it's gonna be the girl.
But not even just that. It's just like, I just want to make sure that she's comfortable and that she, doesn't feel weird, and I'm not making it weirder than it already is. So I'm gonna do what I can do as a man and as her co-star to make sure that it's comfortable and it's enjoyable for her. Because I'm quite sure, as uncomfortable as it was for her, it was uncomfortable for him as well.
Yeah, his damn booty was shaking and stuff all in the camera. So understandable.
But child,
that's a good show. Definitely go watch it. It's on Amazon Prime Video, y'all. So check it out. So Tamar and Kandi.
Child, this some shit here.
It's a mess. Now the clip that we have is 6 minutes. We are not going to play that full 6 minutes. I'm going to cut it off at a certain point, but we're going to get into that. And I believe it's a clip from the Breakfast Club. So check it out.
The gloves are off again. I love that sound effect. So apparently Tamar, Braxton, and Kandi Burruss were watching the show yesterday or listening in and heard us talk about what was happening in the world of chaos that they're creating. Now, for those of you that missed the show yesterday, Tamar Braxton was recently on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, and she talked about being accosted by a Real Housewife of Atlanta and her husband, and the fans found out that it was Kandi Burruss. Well, yesterday when we talked about it, the fans went crazy, and Tamar went live on social media to talk about what happened, and this is what she said.
Weeks go by, 4 or 5 weeks go by, and we all have a concert together. And I see Kandi in the hallway, and I'm like, hey, boo, and I give her a hug, whatever, and she just look at me, and she's like, I ain't f***ing with you. I'm like, what happened? She like, oh, well, you said that you said about Carlos King was foul.
Now, yesterday I said that Kandi Burruss was allegedly a bully. You both said that you couldn't see it. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm telling you, this is very interesting because this is what happens when people don't like being called out. When you shake the cereal box and all the roaches fall out. I'm not calling black women roaches. I'm just saying that I used to live in the hood and we had roaches in our cereal. When you shake the cereal box like Tamar did, the roaches fall out. And Kandi Burruss did not like that, so she went straight to social media to gaslight the fans, and this is what she said.
The only thing I'll say right now is, simply that that's not true. My husband never said nothing to her. He did not threaten her or none of that. So that's why I was like, I don't even want to address that on Amazon Live. She and I did have words, but he did. So that's why I was like, yeah. Some people like to twist things a little bit, but we can talk about it later on a different platform or not.
Well, let's speak about it on this platform, Kandi, because you're playing Twister. Let's talk about receipts, because here's a receipt right here.
What's that?
This is a receipt from Tamar, because after she called her a victim, Tamar said, I am the victim. When your man steps to a woman, sounds like an abused woman to me. See nothing wrong with that. I hope he's not beating your ass. I pray for your healing.
Jesus Christ.
She also then...
Okay, so I'm going to stop it.
While there's a lot of...
It's a lot to unpack here.
There's a lot to unpack. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of background, a lot of history between these two.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all don't know, let's do a little refresher. Kandi Burruss and Tamar Braxton, they were on the first ever season of Celebrity Big Brother to air here in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't watch that show, but spoiler, Tamar Braxton won. She was the first Black person to win Celebrity Big Brother. And I think she had a really, it was like that was her year, that particular year. But while they were on the show, they had her and Kandi Burruss had some words and some issues, and I felt like they just weren't really vibing. They weren't really feeling each other. But by the end of the show, I think that they had formed at least a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't follow them like that because I don't care enough. We all know that Tamar Braxton has had some issues in the past with getting out of her contract with WeTV, because y'all know she was on Braxton Family Values for a very long time, and she had a unaliving attempt at one point, because she was not only was she trying to get out of her contract, but she was just dealing with a lot of other stuff as well, but to make a long story short, in a short story, a paragraph, her and Kandi, they had some form of a friendship. What they're referring to as it pertains to Carlos King is Kandi had, I don't know how recent it was, but Kandi, I think she did an interview and she was talking about how her and Carlos wasn't really that cool because Carlos took the rights to her group Escape and sold them to do a life story. Mm-hmm. Do y'all remember the reality show that Escape had? It was some years ago on Bravo. While they were working on that show, I guess he took the rights to their life and sold it and tried to get a story made about them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the breakdown of their relationship. And Tamar said, Tamar works for Dish Nation now. I feel like that's important to know. They were talking about it on Dish Nation, and Tamar said, I don't really know how true that is. I don't want to just call nobody a liar. And so before I say that, I need to hear Carlos's side of the story. I wouldn't necessarily call, him a thief, but I wish I had the clip, because she was just basically saying, I need to hear both sides of the story before I just jump on that. So so when they met up in the hallway, that is what Kandi Burruss, I believe, was referring to.
Yeah, it was.
That was what she was talking about.
So I can talk a little bit on that too. So in the hallway, they're at the concert. They were on tour together. And Kandi, she was stank-faced that day when she saw Tamar, because she was like, oh, this bitch, I'm finally in front of you. So Tamar basically was like, hey, girl, what's up? Kandi was like, this is in my own word. Kandi was like, I don't fuck with you. And Tamar like, why, pretty much. And they had words going back and forth. And, they mentioned the whole Carlos King situation. Things was getting heated. Tamar was like, oh, we can go into my dressing room to have the conversation. But Kandi like, yeah, let's go in there because it can be there if you want it to be there. And Tamar's like, girl, what am I fighting for? Like, hold on, I can do that. We can do that, but why? So that situation all occurred, all in the midst of that. Todd Tucker, the husband of Kandi, he has been known to be a little bit voicey when it comes to women's business. He's you can see that on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. He's a little boisterous when it comes to certain things. Now, I understand if your wife was about to get battered by all the Braxton sisters, but that wasn't the case. It was just, her talking to another woman. It was getting a little heated, but they have history. So I don't think it would have really took it there. I don't think they really would have did it. But he told Tamar, you know what it is. Allegedly, because
this is just her side of it.
Yeah, Todd and Kandi saying that didn't happen. So recently, Kandi and Todd went on, what is his name? That sportscaster guy. I listen to him every day because of Anthony. But the black guy on that sports ESPN show, he has his own show. Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp. Oh yeah. Okay.
So they go on his show, and it was kind of like, Shannon was getting checked by Todd in some sorts. So Tamar did her live stream the other day, basically on Instagram, basically trying to explain the situation. It was like, it wasn't that deep. And she even admitted, maybe I shouldn't have been in that business. Maybe that wasn't my business to tell. Maybe that wasn't my business to talk about, which it wasn't, because she did double down, made an Instagram story. So Kandi's like, oh, now we face to face. Bitch, what's up? Like, come on, like we gonna do this or not? So Tamar knew she wasn't supposed to be in that business. This is all after the fact. She has now come to this realization, but we already know Tamar a little messy. Auntie Tay is a little messy. She knows she a little messy. And I think in this situation, Todd was in the wrong because, first of all, Tamar's husband or boyfriend, I don't know if they're married yet, but her man.
They're engaged, Tamar and her fiance. That's something else to know, but
he wasn't there. He wasn't even in the same state. I think they were overseas at that time. They weren't even with each other. So it's not like she could have went and called her man, hey, babe, come down here. Dude just said so-and-so to me. And once Tamar's fiance and Todd was able to talk, Todd doubled down. Was like, I didn't say that. That didn't happen. But I feel like Todd don't really press upon men. But when it comes to a woman, he got all that mouth. And I don't like dudes like that. But yeah,
but this is the thing though, because it wasn't even like, first of all, when you're on a show like Dish Nation or you're on a show like The Breakfast Club or anything like that, you're gonna have conversations like that come up.
Yeah.
Where
it's a messy environment, like
yeah, it's a messy environment, but also like it's gossip, it's tea.
Yep.
So you can't really be upset if somebody said, hey, I don't really know, I don't really want to take sides, but yeah. I really wouldn't say that it was there was some thievery going on. Because like, a lot of stuff sometimes we'll see and it comes out of left field. Tamar Braxton, I will be honest, Tamar Braxton does not really, you don't really hear a lot about her or even from her when it comes to social media.
No, not really.
You don't really hear a lot from Tamar Braxton. Tamar Braxton is really quiet and she keeps to herself and she minds her business.
Unless
so
she
when
on
people
show.
Like that get to talking, there has to be some validity to what they're saying. They're not just pulling shit out their ass. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just something that she done made up about somebody. This is something that has to have some truth to it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise Tamar Braxton wouldn't talk. And then Kandi, I feel like she don't be wanting to, you ain't really trying to address it or say nothing. And then with Kandi too, there's been just like a whole bunch of back and forth with her because she is now embroiled in like a whole little beef with SWV. And
girl, that's a mess.
That all stems from their reality show, the Queens of R&B on Bravo. So she's been in a lot lately, and you're probably that's probably not the end of it. Because when the next episode drops on Sunday, it's probably gonna be something else.
I want to watch that, but I ain't got no
Kandi said, or that somebody from SWV said. It's a lot going on with them, but I feel like maybe there was a hinge of messiness there on Tamar's part because
Yeah.
maybe she was alluding to the fact that because she made a good point too. When you're in the industry, you're gonna have to deal with the fact that there are gonna be a lot of unauthorized things made about you that you're not gonna like, and that just is what it is. They don't owe you. It's just like when you have those serial killer documentaries, like the Jeffrey Dahmer story.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to contact those people's families to see if it was okay to talk about that and to like put their families' lives in it and have them relive that. They didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
It's all public record. And I don't know if the same thing applies to entertainers, but she was just like, I mean, that's just what it is. Like, people are gonna make she was like, hell, my sister did a whole documentary and I didn't have a say on how I was portrayed in it.
Yeah.
But I understand where Kandi's coming from too. It's like, you did it in a way, if you judging by what Kandi is saying, you did it in a way that was sneaky to me.
Mm.
And then Tamar, it's almost as if you agreed with how he did it. And if we're supposed to be friends, then I would expect you to be on my side. But it's just a messy ass.
I can't even say pick sides or nothing. If I'm your friend and I do an interview, they ask me a question, or I'm on a show where I know I have to give my opinion. I don't really know the topics for real. I just know that it may come out to be some messy shit. As my friend, after the end of the interview, I would have called you, if it wasn't live, I knew it was taped and it's gonna come out soon. Hey, friend, this happened. This was said. I said this. Just warn your friend before something even happens, if y'all are actually friends. Now, they've been knowing each other, for years in the industry. So to me, Tamar, she gave her opinion. Once it came out, maybe she didn't think, because they be clipping a lot of stuff out of certain shows. So when you see these little clips, it definitely gets taken out of context because you don't know the whole story, like the Angela Yee situation. No one knew the whole interview unless you watched the whole thing in its totality. But they're too old. They could have just picked up the phone. That was a simple, hey, girl, did you see what I said? Girl, that's a fucking mess. Like, that, to me, that would have been an easy, quick conversation. I go call my friend. That didn't happen.
I agree, but at the
same now here we are talking about them beefing
time,
back and forth. So
I agree, but at the same time, that's a conversation that, like, maybe you didn't. I don't know. Like, I think they may be briefed on like what they're going to talk about. But if I don't know if I don't know anything about a conversation, or like if I don't know anything about a story, there's nothing wrong with me saying I'm not gonna just sit up here and bash somebody because I don't know enough about it. I need to hear his side of the story, which is what she said.
I don't know if it's my connection or your connection. It's choppy as hell.
It might be mine because my connection was acting slow. It like froze for a second. Is it still choppy? Because you're fine.
But you're there to give you opinion. So that's why I'm like, Kandi couldn't have been too mad at what she said. She was only there to give her opinion. Everybody knows, not to like excuse Tamar's messiness, because homegirl definitely doubled down on in her stories, but it was messy. That whole shit was
messy. And it was can you hear me? Am I choppy still?
I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. It was just a lot going on, honestly, and I feel like there's just always a breakdown in there. She was like, I thought we were cool, I thought we were good. And if you listen to Kandi and how she describes it, it's kind of like Tamar was being just as extra.
Yeah, that was matching energies for sure.
At this point, go sit down. Y'all too damn old to be doing this shit. Go sit the fuck down.
So y'all, I'm sure y'all done seen Mr. Tekashi 6ix9ine on the internet getting his ass beat. Now, I ain't like seeing this. I didn't. And everybody know how I felt about it at this point. So let's get into the video and we're gonna talk about it.
So I saw a video of Jerry's cousin, getting jumped at LA Fitness, and I'm like, where is your security? Were you trying to prove you didn't need one? Because you do. It didn't work. But what was weird was that in the midst of the video, the guy's beating him up. He's like, yeah, you want to record me? You want to take a photo of me beating you up and make me famous? Like, I mean, this what you want. I was trying to understand the context of what was the point of jumping him? Like, did he need to be jumped? Did you gain street cred? Like, I understand he talks so much, but the purpose? He trying to be a Tom to his Jerry? And then the cameraman started following him like, hey man, you know I am a fan. Like, dude, you just watched him get beat up. What type of fan are you? A ceiling fan? Like, I'd hope my fans would want to help me.
That is fucking wild.
She said, what kind of fan are you? A ceiling fan?
I
The
cannot.
ending. But okay, so the video of him getting beat up or jumped rather came out first. That's the first one that I saw, and I was like, "Oh no, what the hell?" Like,
and I seen that. That's goddamn. That was brutal.
That beat his ass. Now, after the fight happens, then y'all keep recording. You all up in my face. Oh, 6ix9ine, I'm a fan.
Very much clout.
Like what? When I say, first of all, I agree with everybody else. Where the hell was your security? Where's the big guys with the guns? Where the hell was your security? You just outside, bro. Like, what the fuck? Is there not a gym in your like apartment complex in your house? You would think he would be the type of like, can I call him an artist, rapper, celebrity that has constant 24/7 security? Do you just not got it? Because I mean, you are in LA Fitness. There's gyms for celebrities, so stuff like this does not happen. Where's the entourage? Just where?
Let me just provide some context for a second. And then I'm going to touch on what you said. In the video, she said, I'm just trying to figure out why he's getting jumped.
Yes, that's my first question.
Mm-hmm. Do you get street cred for jumping him? Like, what do you gain? Mm-hmm. Other than clout, what do you gain?
Because that's what he was going for. Definitely
now,
clout.
Let's backtrack a little bit to tie this all together. This was my theory. This is what I said. We had a private conversation about this the other day, and this was my theory, and this is what I said. And this is also what WAC 100 alluded to, and the Shade Room article that I read. They're not the most credible source, but they touched on this as well when they wrote the article about him getting jumped. Y'all know that back in like 2020, 2019, this man was looking at 47 years. He's supposed to be in prison right now. He's not supposed to be roaming doing shit. He's not even supposed to be at LA Fitness right now to this day. He ended up turning on his gang affiliates. He snitched and got his 47-year sentence reduced to like 5 years. Got released in 2020 because of the pandemic and was told to serve the rest of your time, at home on probation, right? If you know anything about gang life or gang culture or anything like that, then you know that snitching is a no-no. You take the fall for your guys, and you know what I'm saying? And that's what that is. But he didn't do that. He turned in a lot of people, and a lot of people are serving some hefty time as a result of that. And when you do that, from what I'm seeing, it's like you are a traitor.
But 6ix9ine though wasn't in the gang. Like, he wasn't in the gang. He didn't get jumped into the gang. He was a gang. He was gang affiliate. He had the niggas around. He wasn't them niggas. You know what I'm saying?
No, he was in it enough.
He was adjacent.
He was in it enough to where he knew stuff, and even like he had to have been, because he knew where all the bodies were buried. A lot of those people were his entourage and his security.
He said it. You got to watch that Breakfast Club interview. He wasn't in it. Them was just his guys.
He was in it enough to know what was going on, and he didn't keep his mouth closed. And so my theory is that the gang that he was a part of, gangs are not just most times they're not just conducive to one place. They're like nationwide, worldwide type situation. So my theory is that there are people who still have a grudge about him being able to move around so freely and him doing what he did to people that was, in the life. And so, he ain't scared of shit. Like, he know, like, he's been known to post videos. When King Von died, I think he posted a video talking about that he deserved it or something like that, or that he was gonna spit on his grave. Something, real disrespectful. He's
I
known
think
for
he
being
did pop
very
up to that boy
disrespectful.
grave. I think that was a video.
There could be a multitude of reasons for why somebody jumped him. Him snitching could have been one. Him being disrespectful to fellow slain gang members, that could be a thing. Whack 100 said in his thing, like, damn, I wish I had to put the picture up, but like he was saying that, like, hey, this is a lesson to 6ix9ine in his situation. Like, you should have been more calculated in how you were moving, and you should have had security. Like you said, where's your security? Where's your entourage?
Mm-hmm.
You know that you are a target. You are target number one, and then you're in LA, where
No,
like
he was
people
in
that
he was
you
in
hung
Florida.
around with, I think they're part of like the Bloods or whatever. But you're in LA, and it's like,
No, he's in Florida.
That's where a lot of those gangs are like prominent or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's my theory, is that somebody still wasn't happy with him being able to be so free and move around, and him walking like he's untouchable, and him walking like, oh, ain't nobody gonna fuck with me. And it's like, bro, you have to have your security, because
Mm-hmm.
you did some shit that was foul, and that was like, it caused a lot of people to have to go away. That's my theory. I'm not a street person, but that's my theory as to why he got jumped. And as far as them recording afterwards, like, bro, I know he had to be embarrassed and humiliated, but it's like,
yeah, his face was all beat up, like he was bloody and everything. Like it was
yeah,
bad.
it was like, that was definitely for some clout.
Yeah. The only reason why I don't think this is gang related is because if gangs are gonna do something, if they're not afraid to go to jail and get locked up for doing a crime like this in the daylight, I just don't feel like this was gang related. Like, I really don't. I think this is an isolated situation because he was by himself. He didn't have nobody with him. And it was in Miami. Well, it was in Florida. I don't know if it was in Miami, but he was in an LA Fitness. And
oh yeah, that's right.
I'm just like, I don't like seeing stuff like this, y'all. Like, I really shield myself from stuff like this after all the years we saw police brutality and all this stuff. So like, this don't come up on my timeline. I have to go searching to see things like this, or someone has to send it to me. But I would hope that with him moving out of New York, him moving away from that situation up there, it would have brought him a little bit of peace down in Florida. Now, I, by any means, because Lyah, no, I got some niggas in my family, you know. I got some affiliates myself in my family, and I don't want to think that this man is still out here just being weird in the streets for things to happen. Because the night before this, he got put out of a baseball game for being drunk and belligerent. So I'm like, well, it could be some stuff from people knew he was out, so they're like, oh, I'm about to go get him, and it's just random Joe Schmo. It's like, I don't know.
It could be random Joe Schmoes, but you know how people will choose a side, I feel like, in a gang or whatever, if they're not a part of it.
Mm-hmm. Try to be cool.
That's the only reason why I think it's gang related, because like I said, his trial was very publicized. It was one of the ones that everybody was watching. Everybody knew about it. And I feel like you say it's not, but like, people hold grudges.
Understandably,
people can hold grudges for a long time, and that's the first thought I thought of, was like, this has to be something related to his trial. And like, like people have been saying, you cannot afford to move around the way you moving without any security. You just can't do that.
Because when he first got out, he was around his entourage, but y'all know, ain't nobody, if he put out some music, I don't know if it's gonna hit how it did before 2020. I don't think it'd hit the same. Like, he tried it, but it
I feel like it's 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine has 22 million followers on Instagram, and a lot of them are there for his antics, I feel like, and not for his music.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like
he got famous for the antics. It wasn't even the music for real.
But I definitely feel like I think it would do something.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might.
But let's move on. So Lotto and Ice Spice. I think this situation here is a little childish. Now, Be With The T had posted her video a couple of days ago on YouTube. And when I seen it, well, I think it was like yesterday or something. When I seen it, I said, this is childish. This is just childish rap girly beef. So we're going to get into it and then we're going to talk about it.
Lotto and Ice Spice beefing. Now, Ice Spice drops a diss track.
Ice Spice. So today, Ice Spice dropped her EP and one of her songs on that album. Fans believe that she's actually shading Lotto. Now, if you want to go back, all this started after Lotto and Nicki had their falling out on Twitter. Ice Spice was allegedly feeling some type of way, posted a video on her Instagram stories, and people believe that she was referring to Lotto.
I don't like when the young girlies come for the old girlies. I don't like that. What the fuck? What is wrong with y'all? Have some fucking respect for your elders.
Okay, so after all that, Lotto ended up unfollowing Ice Spice on Instagram. And recently, Lotto did a interview and was asked to finish Ice Spice lyrics to her popular song, Bikini Bottom. And this is what happened.
So the last question, it's, how can I lose if I'm already chose?
Chose. Like. Somebody help me.
So this leads to where we are now. So Ice Spice dropped her EP today, and some lyrics she had on one of her songs made people feel like she was shading Lotto. So the lyrics go, B's not taking ish from me but notes. Wanna be me, so she do my emotes, and my name in her mouth, so I bet she gon' choke. Now the part where she says wanna be me, so she do my emotes, basically she's saying she's copying her. So people felt like she was talking about this picture right here. So if you can see, you have Ice Spice been over, and of course I could not show everything, but she's kind of touching herself, okay, from behind. Follow me. And then over here on the right, you have Lotto doing that same pose.
Childish. It's just childish.
I saw somebody saying not Lotto doing Ice Spice's emotes before her or something like that on Twitter, but I didn't think much of it. I feel like maybe there was some shade there.
I would feel like on Ice Spice side, because Ice Spice has been doing, I guess, this signature pose, but Lotto had showed a picture from her like back almost 3-4 years ago doing the same pose. She's like, y'all, I've been doing this. Like, what are y'all talking about? Like, go sit down. Ain't nobody shading that girl. But Lotto not knowing Ice Spice song, y'all, there's so many songs get dropped. So many girls get put on every day. I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, you don't know her song. You're just being a hater. Like, I don't think so. I just think this whole situation is just
okay, but I do think it's important to note, you know, Nicki Minaj recently revealed that she has a record label on her Queen radio show that is now on AMP.
I know.
And I believe Ice Spice is signed to the label.
Ice Spice and Nicki are in cahoots at the moment. So I guess anybody that sides with Ice Spice, well, anybody that sides with Nicki, I guess y'all just can't like Lotto for whatever reason. Like, what is this? I don't.
This is what I don't understand with like people that either side with Nicki Minaj or work with Nicki Minaj or whatever.
It shouldn't even be a side. That's
I don't even understand why that has such an effect on their friendships with other rap girlies. Mm-hmm. I don't get that. I don't understand that. Mm-hmm. And like I always say, some stuff comes out of left field for us, but like there's a lot of that goes on behind the scenes that we don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so when we see a celebrity do something so drastic, such as unfollowing someone on social media,
I hate how childish that is. Like,
you know, we see them do stuff like that. It's like, well, damn, where did that come from? If you're not paying close attention, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have the time of your day or you don't care enough to pay close attention, then you're not going to really know, you know, the backstory behind why a celebrity would unfollow another celebrity. But I feel like every single time Nicki Minaj's name is brought up, it's always some shade, be it intentional or unintentional.
Nope. And
I
then
don't
it's
know.
like,
This beef is just ill. It's just no.
because it just reminds me like when Glorilla, when her song had got big, and then Cardi jumped on the track with her. Oh, she's picking sides. Glorilla will never get a feature from Nicki. Who gives a fuck? Like, who cares? If the girl's career is gonna go good, it's gonna go good. Like, it shouldn't matter if she's co-signing with this person, co-signing with that person. First of all, Nicki Minaj is not that accepting. And y'all just need to learn that. Nicki Minaj be toxic at times. And y'all be eating that shit up every single time.
Exactly.
So when I see Ice Spice and Lotto going back and forth, I'm just like, Lotto still got a good career. Ice Spice EP, I guess, went off with a bang. People like it. People love to hear her. You know what I'm saying? She's setting her own trend. She has the puff, the curly puff situation. Like, she in her own lane. Lotto is in her own lane. Let's just respect them as such. But an unfollow as a celebrity on social media, child, it's like World War motherfucking 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. It's crazy. But I just thought we should add some childishness in here because that was very much childish.
I don't know what they got going on. I don't know. It's just like I don't understand it. And at this point, the rap girlies are being real childish with their beef and who they beefing with. That'll be just like saying JT's career should not be popping off and she shouldn't be doing what she's doing because she did a thing with Megan and she did a thing with Nicki. And Nicki and Megan are no longer cool or however that go. Like I don't
I'm glad you mentioned JT because remember, I don't know. They were saying that Nicki was calling JT the rap princess. Well, the rap queen, whatever the hell she was calling her. But now she's calling Ice Spice that person because now, you know, Nicki and JT are no longer cool. So it's like, y'all be begging to be under this girl's wing. It's just like, why? Because when she's done with you, she's gonna do you dirty every single time. This was not supposed to be a hate Nicki moment, but I love me some Nicki Minaj. Truly, I love me some Nicki, but I can't deal with the antics.
This is why this is why they need to do something similar on Swarm where they touch on shit like this.
Yes.
Like this. Because I feel like I said, every time Nicki Minaj's name is brought up in something, it is always having to deal with like a beef between her and another girl. It's always having to deal with that. And it's like she's behind the scenes throwing the rocks and hiding her hand and making it seem like it's these girls doing. Yeah. But I feel like anybody who's new to the game, they should be able to form their own opinions about these rappers, about these rap girlies. There's no way that like all the rap girlies in the game, new and old, has an issue with you. It has to be you.
Yeah.
It's something that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And then part of it too is fans do be escalating and they do be making shit bigger than what it actually is. And it's like you have to kind of really figure out what's fact and what's fiction. The same way with that Selena mess. How they felt like Hailey Bieber was shading Selena with posting her eyebrows and stuff like that, or making fun of her eyebrows. That was what it was perceived as. That was what that was perceived as. So it's like you have to when you're looking at beefs like this, I be really trying to take a lot of it with a grain of salt until I see the celebrity themselves allude to or confirm something that's been posted by these fan pages. I don't be paying it no mind.
Well, Lotto, she did, screenshot some stuff and then retweet it and was just like, y'all need to basically stop. Like, this is doing too much. But she very well could just be like, I don't fuck with Ice Spice like that. Like, I don't have to be following you on social media to support you. Like, it shouldn't even have to be that. Like, I don't follow, what's his name? James Charles. I don't follow him on Instagram, but I watch his YouTube. I'm subscribed to his YouTube. Does that mean I don't fuck with James Charles? Like, no. Everything has to be taken with a grain of salt for sure. Like, social media is fake. Like this right now, the social media world, like, none of this is real. If it goes away today, we would still be living our lives, y'all. Like, this is our everyday. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know. This shit is just weird.
So I guess we can end on something nice. something cool, something that my little Disney heart will be pumping for.
Brandy is Cinderella
again.
Period. Y'all, listen. I had heard about them reviving the role as Cinderella in the upcoming Descendants movie, and I had forgot all about it. I remember hearing about it last year. But child,
let's watch it. I got this from Double D Movo. We love her, and she followed me back on TikTok, so we love that for me.
Good morning, players. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. So Disney is starting a new franchise, and Brandy is gonna be Cinderella again. Y'all, look at the video.
Hi, this is Brandy, and I play Cinderella.
Hi, I'm Paolo Montalban. I play King Charming, and welcome to set.
Proud of you guys.
Oh my gosh, that just looks so...
That's just so fucking sweet.
I mean, and then it's not Brandy looking like Cinderella from 1997.
As she should.
Not King Charming looking like Prince Charming from 26 years ago. I feel real old saying it.
Damn, wait. I didn't even think of it like that. Ew, we're old, Lyah.
You old. The fuck?
Nigga. I didn't even think of it
This
like
is
that.
going for a lot of the millennials or Gen Zers or whatever the fuck
They
we
don't
are.
understand.
This is gonna make a lot of people happy. I've never seen any of the Descendants movies. I've never watched them. I feel like I might need to now to get some understanding, because if I'm not mistaken, the Descendants movies are they are about the children of like the villains and heroes and heroines.
Yes.
And like them trying to follow in their
How
parents'
the hell would their daughter look or their child look? How would they do
footsteps? Now that'd be interesting to see.
We gotta watch this shit. Like we need to do a watch party or something on Rave or something. This would be.
I am not getting on Rave. That shit is
girl, the ghetto. It's okay because we can do a watch party directly into Disney Plus. That'd be fine. I'm excited.
that is going to be that movie is gonna be amazing. Honestly,
even
I feel like it's gonna be. We're in the area of nostalgia.
Yes,
and
it can be good or bad.
It's hitting on that.
Yeah. Now, when they do this, sometimes they bring back our faves, like our actual faves. It's a hit or miss. So hopefully it's a hit and not a miss, because I think this is definitely going to make us 26 and 27s and 20 somethings very happy to see. Okay. I just wish that Whitney Houston was able to, be a part of it. Because think of Whitney Houston as fairy godmother now, girl. Okay.
Yes, like that would have been amazing. It would have been really amazing to see her off. Maybe they could still. It would be nice if they. I don't want to see her. It would have been nice if they could have still had her. If they would have included her offspring in it.
Damn. Well, can't do that. Can't do that.
Like they could, but they could just allude to the fact that she passed away, or like maybe somebody killed her, or something like that.
Oh, Lyah. No.
They've done that. No, because they've done crazier things in the world of entertainment. That's not a crazy idea to think of.
Yeah.
Or it wouldn't be that far. Like it wouldn't be like off the wall for them to do. They could still, because that's what Descendants is. It's their offspring anyway.
Yeah.
So why not? Why not? If she had children, why not include them in it?
It could have been like a spell gone wrong, and now she's gone forever. Like it could be something like that. I could think of
exactly. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They could allude to they could have alluded to that. It would have still been nice if they could have had that be a part of it in that little way. But
yeah,
that would have really set it off.
I am just in love with the Little Mermaid. I think that comes out this year, right?
That comes out in May, and I like how, because Hallie did a thing with that too, where she was talking about it's not just about her leaving the ocean for a boy. It's about something more than that, than it was in the original. And then you've got Yar Shahidi playing Tinkerbell.
Wait,
That comes out.
that.
That comes out in April. I think it's a live action remake as well. That comes out in April. I think like April 21st or 20 something like that.
She should be playing her.
And what I love about Disney has always tried to give us representation before we were even pushing for representation.
They give us a real Princess and the Frog now.
Even though they have a racist past as well, but still.
No, I'm saying Princess and the Frog, if they're gonna do these, we need to get an update with Princess and the Frog. Instead of her being a frog, I need her to be a princess.
An actual princess.
Movie. Yes.
Yeah.
And please don't make her lighter.
If she's based off of an actual woman.
Tell her story.
There is no if. She is.
Yeah.
She's based off of Lyah Chase, who was an actual real life chef.
Yep.
If they're gonna base her story off that, then she needs to be a whole human being. She needs to be a princess still.
Yep.
If I kissed the frog and it should have went, I didn't turn into a frog. I became a goddamn princess again. Like no. And then I like the I don't know if you've seen the auditions. Ari Lennox did her pitch to Disney. It was like, hey Disney, my name is Ari Lennox and this is me singing Almost There.
That would make my little heart so happy.
She put in a bid for it. Everybody. And then Coco Jones has been another another suggestion that has come up to play Princess Tiana. Because they're talking about doing a live action. Give us the animated series y'all said.
Yes.
Coco Jones has been another person that they've been talking about. But everybody's saying, no, bring back the original. Bring back Anika Noni Rose. We want to see her.
I would be okay with that too. Because
I would be okay with anybody as long as because if I'm not mistaken, Anika Noni Rose is a dark-skinned woman.
She is, I believe, yeah.
As long as the woman that is playing this character is dark-skinned and she can sing for real, and Coco Jones can sing her ass off.
She can sing.
As we've seen. Lord have mercy. As long as the woman is dark-skinned, I don't really give a damn who plays her.
Please don't make her try to make her white, because she was not white in the movie. We had a chocolate princess, okay? We had that, and let's keep that. I don't want no goddamn frog. No, that made me so pissed. And then it went. I'm even gonna go down the fucking Disney thing, like, because we tried to watch
and it didn't even do that well in the box office. But it's like there's now a greater appreciation for it now, because it's like we had a black princess.
Yep. And my nieces got to experience a black princess in their lifetime. Like, I love that for them, because there's so many like white Barbie dolls, and like nothing against the white Barbie dolls. I love them. I grew up on, having my princess room, and all the Disney princesses was white or Asian or Indian or whatever. But I love that they got to experience Princess Tiana as a child. I didn't get to experience that as a child for real. Like, no, but I love this.
And I love the fact too that like they're taking a lot of representations of princesses that have previously been white and making them people of color. But somebody brought up the thing of like, why don't they just make a princess specifically for black people? They did.
They did
just turned her into a fucking frog.
A goddamn frog.
But to that point, y'all do need to do that. Make a princess that's original.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then if you're gonna do a story about like, because Pocahontas, that was not an accurate representation of her life.
That was
not at all. When you learn the history,
version.
When you learn the history of Pocahontas and you learn how she came to be, that's not an accurate representation. But like, do more or get some original stories in there. That have a hint of like the culture of the person that you're casting. So like if you're gonna do a black person, you're gonna do an Asian person, get a princess that has a hint of their culture, or like what royalty would look like in their culture, and make them their own original, princesses, but base it off of something that's actual and factual. Nothing wrong with redoing the white princesses and giving us like a black Ariel and a black Tinkerbell.
I love that.
All those things. But that commenter had a point. But even if they did do that, racist people who are part of the Disney fandom or whatever are still gonna have something to say. And I honestly, I don't give a fuck. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think that's a good person.
Y'all have been the standard and the center of representation for a long time, and ain't nobody said shit. But the second that they want to put some melanin in it and put a little sauce and a little flavor on these princesses, now all of a sudden y'all got something to say. Kiss my ass.
Kiss my black ass. My black ass. But y'all, I think that's all. That's all we got. That's it.
That is it. That is all. We hope that you all enjoyed. I don't want to say too much because our outro.
Yeah, because you about to say the same thing as the damn outro. Just give your final comments, your final remarks.
This week was not really. It was kind of lacking on the drama. The biggest drama to come out of this was two aunties fighting, and they shouldn't have been. The rap girlies are childish through and through, and we need more shows like Swarm on television.
Yeah, Tekashi 6ix9ine, please get you some goddamn get you some your entourage.
That too. Just do that.
Get that. But all right, y'all. We'll see y'all Sunday for our podcast. All right.
Thank you for watching the Two Real Chicks podcast. If you liked what you saw, subscribe to our channel and press the bell so that you don't miss a single upload. We're always interested in hearing what you think. So be sure to leave your comments and thoughts on this week's episode in the comments below. We'll see you next time.